Hello and welcome, my name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you for joining me for our last card in this week's stamp set of the week, Be My Valentine. And this time the bee is going to make a 3D appearance on our card. So here I have used Lemon Lime Twist and Black with a little bit of yellow, but today's colours are slightly different. So we've got plain inside. So let me bring in the supplies and we can get on with making the card. So as I said, today's supplies are slightly different of colours. So this is Balmy Blue in 8 by 5 3/4. We have Night of Navy that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. We have a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 piece of the Balmy Blue. I have 4, she says, 1 by 1, no, 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 squares. They're here somewhere. There they are. Let's go there. Have a piece of 3 1/2 by 5 1/4 to go inside. Looks like a window, doesn't it? And then I have a 3 1/2 by 3/4 inch piece of Balmy Blue, and then a piece of white, which is I think it's 4. Let me check. It's not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths of an inch by 3 3/8. There we go. And then I have a piece of scrap for my bumblebee. So back on Monday when I was saying to you that if you didn't have designer series paper that you wanted to use for your bumblebee, for your speech mark card, you could stamp them out on cards and then punch them out. So this, we're actually going to use the squares and instead of designer series paper, and we're going to stamp on them instead. So I'm going to stamp 2 with the honeycomb, and I'm going back to my pebble path for that. So let's do that first of all. One on there, and one on there. Then I'm going to stamp 2 flowers. So I'm going to use Granny Apple Green as the stems. Now in the particular stamp set you've got those 2 over there. You've got the flowers pointing one that way and one the other way. So they're pointing in different directions. So before we plant the Granny Apple Green, we're actually going to put the flowers on, the heads of the flowers on first, and that I am using the Balmy Blue. So I've got 1 full head. So let's tap that. There we go. And we're going to put that one up there. And then we've got one as if the wind has blown and it's facing the other direction. And I'm going to put him there. Here we are. So we've got our 2 green heads. Now the blue heads. So the reason I've done it that way is because the stems then we don't have to worry about whether we've got enough room to put the heads on once the stems, because it's all right if the stems overlaps the square. Right, so let's do that one that way. As you can see, it's in one direction, and then with the other one we're going to stamp. Come on, there we go. So those are flowers. So the only thing I'm left to do now with my honeycomb is to give it a bit of honey inside. So I'm going to use the dark lemon lolly and just colour in a few of the honeycombs on both of these. Let's do one up there. There we go, and then do the same on this one. There we go. So they will sit nicely onto our 3.5 by 3.5 balmy blue. I'm just going to pop one of those corners, the flower up that way, and that one that way, and they can be stuck down with our glue. Just got a slightly rough edge there, so I'm just going to run my bone folder down it, and it will give it a flatter edge. Right, so I'm going to stick this down with my multi-purpose. I'm going to leave those there just so it gives me a rough idea that I'm putting each one in the correct position. So do it that way. So that's that one. Do the same with this one. Now I'm actually going to raise the bumblebee up, so that's the reason I'm not raising these. Otherwise I probably would have done. Now if you don't want to stamp them out, of course you could cut yourself out 1.5 by 1.5 square pieces of designer series paper, and that would work just as well. Goes there, and then the flower. So the thing to do now, after we've done this, is to stamp out our bumblebee. Make sure he sticks there nicely. Always good with the multi-purpose, it gives you that little bit of wriggle room. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp out the body. So again, like Wednesday, I'm going to use the lemon lolly because I really liked that version or colour. Let's pop him down there. I'm going to bring on my pebble path for the black parts of the bumblebee. And straight down. There he is. And then I'm going to give him a little cheeky face. Give you a winky face as he flies past. So let's see. There he is. He's a cheeky little bumblebee. Right, let's stamp him out first with the punch. She says lifting up the wrong piece of paper so everything falls down. So that'll fit into here quite nicely. There he is. And then obviously we need to give him his wings, otherwise it's going to look a bit strange. So let's pop our wings on there, and then that will fit into our punch. I'm just going to cut that bit off, and then you can pop it through. Come on, that's going to be a little difficult, so I'm just going to use my scissors to pull it down. Come on, there we go. Perfect. Whoops, not so perfect. Right, let's try that again. Come on, little wings, just behave. There we are, and we can push down, and out they pop. So we only need one because you're only going to see one side of the bumblebee. So he will fit like that. So rather than glue it, what I do is I'm going to get my dimensionals out. Oops. There. I take one dimensional and I'm going to erase over the heart. So I'm just going to pop the tiny bit on the end of the heart so that there's a bit over. So then when I know where I'm going to put it, it sticks straight away. There he is. So I'm happy with that. Then I can put the dimensionals, the rest of the dimensionals should I say, around the edge of the bumblebee. And I do really need to put a couple on the wing because I found that it didn't really, it was a bit wobbly. So a half a dimensional down each side. One there and one there, like so. Right, let's pull that off. Perfect. And then he will go on our there we go. That can then get layered. So let's bring our cardstock in and our mat in Night of Navy. Tell you what, let's fold this first. And it goes down. It does look like my blade on my trimmer is a little bit blunt. It's given me a bit of a raggedy edge. So I'm just going to push it down with the bum folder and that gets rid of it for me. And the same there. Lovely. Right, I do seem to have put my hand in pebble path, but that's not going to matter because I can cover it up with my Night of Navy quite easily. Turn it over, pop that down. Wonderful. Burnish that just a little bit more. There we are. Then our bumblebee can go on there and then we can put our sentiment on the top. Oh, there's my sentiment and my piece of card to go over it. So let's stamp that out. Right, just going to do the same with these edges. Definitely need to change the blade on my cutter. There. Right, so once again I am using the Sweetly Scripted. I'm going to use the Happy Birthday and in the Pebble Path. So let's bring the ink pad to the stamp. And then we can bring that over. There. Perfect. That can then be layered onto there. And I think what we'll do with both of these is we will, both the sentiment and the bee, we'll put on dimensionals. I laid them flat on this one, but I've got a feeling I'm going to feel like raising them up on this one. So let's get those dimensionals. One on each end and one in the middle. 1, 2, 3, in the middle, And then we do the same on there, one each end and one in the middle. There we go. Right, let's stick these down. Pointy tool. There he is. Oh, excuse me. And the sentiment. Right. And using our stamp and seal, we can put the inside layer in. And that will fit just like so. There we are. So this is all we've created, and this is the other one. So oh, excuse me, that is our stamp, or our last card for the stamp set of the week, Be My Valentine. I hope you like those. They've been quite good fun to make, and who knew I would be such a fan of Lemon Lolly for the Bumblebee. But there we go. So we are back again next week on Monday with a new stamp set of the week. However, if you would like to try your hand at crafting or making some cards, we are running a card class on the 22nd of June in Bicester. It's an opportunity to make 4 very different cards. There's myself and another lady called Jenny. We will be creating the cards for you. All tuition and supplies will be given. And it's a great afternoon, or sorry, a great morning crafting with like-minded people. It's £35 per person. And we have restricted it to only 12 people, or only 12 attendees, to make it a manageable size that everybody can enjoy. So if you would like to have a go, as I say, it is in Bicester, drop me a comment at the bottom of this video or contact me via my Facebook page, and we would love you to join us. That would be brilliant. Anyway, whatever you do for the rest of the weekend, have a lovely time, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care. Bye.